One of the things, and I feel the need to just say this before we start with the reading and the message here. One of the things that I just stopped tolerating, or I think it might have been something that I experienced a lot as a young woman. And even today, I feel like I get it a lot today, but one of the things that I cannot tolerate, like on a toleration level, is jealousy. Envy. Like when you just see it in somebody, it's not a good feeling. It doesn't make me feel good. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be completely transparent and honest. Like I always am, because I don't have a problem with that. I was once a jealous woman. And there is this jealousy, that comes with love and hate at the same time, right? I believe that jealousy is, it's inevitable. It happens. We're human. We have moments when we get jealous, right? But I'm talking about the type of jealousy that turns into possessiveness, obsessiveness, and destruction. And I feel like we live in a place now where that has become a trend. It has become, and it's crazy why I'm starting this reading with this, because this has nothing to do with what we are about to talk about, but I feel it heavily right now, so I'm going to release it. It has become like a theme. Possessiveness, obsessiveness. And for some reason, I keep picking up on it and I keep experiencing it for myself. And that's just one thing right now in my life that I cannot tolerate to a capacity, to a certain level. I was once a jealous woman, and to be quite honest, in that relationship that I was in, when I felt so much of my insecurities and I was triggered a lot, and jealousy really got to me. This was around the time when I still didn't really work on my shadow, when I didn't take the time to go in and reflect on my insecurities. I let my insecurities and I let my jealousy override me. I let these things get to me. So for example, at the time, in this relationship, when we would go to a bar. For example, we would go to a bar and you have a girl bartender, and the guy I was with at the time, he would call her love and sweetheart, or every time we go out and there's a girl in sight, he would, say something to her and flirt with her. And that, to me, I took personal. I'm not with the guy anymore, so it doesn't matter. But it triggered my insecurities and it triggered my jealousy, for sure. For sure. But once it started getting to a point where I started to become possessive, like I felt the possessiveness and the obsessiveness rising in me, that stuff shouldn't make one feel great. That stuff shouldn't make one feel good and then continue doing it. Does that make sense? Because once I started feeling the possessiveness inside of me, I pulled back. Because I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? What am I not doing for myself that I'm getting so caught up in this jealousy game? And what am I not doing for myself that I keep getting triggered because of the insecurities that I have? We all have insecurities, correct? And those insecurities are going to get triggered, especially when you're in a relationship and you're with somebody that you are in love with. You are, this is your best friend, this is your husband, your wife. Those insecurities, when you're with somebody that you love, it's an instant trigger. Because when you're with somebody that you love, you want them to pay attention to you only. And so at the time when I was with this guy, and it didn't help also that, the whole situation, the whole relationship wasn't really the best, healthiest relationship, to be quite honest. I don't even think you call that a relationship, but we were both drinking a lot. He drank a lot more than I did. And that, I think, was a big trigger. And I think it's weird. I think at one point, like when he seen me jealous, like he liked it. Like a fetish almost, like he liked that I was getting jealous, and that to me is fucking weird. So, and it fucked me up in my head. So what I'm saying here is like, I cannot tolerate the level of jealousy that one carries that turns into possessiveness and obsessiveness. That if your jealousy is turning into obsessiveness and possessiveness, stop yourself. Stop. Back up. Reflect on yourself. I would literally look at myself in the mirror and I would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's going on with you? I would talk to myself. I would literally talk to myself. And I would ask myself, what's wrong with you? Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. It doesn't look good on anyone. It's not attractive. And people will literally disappear out of your life because it's not a very pleasant energy to dwell in, to sit with. Does that make sense? And I don't know why this is coming up, but this is the energy that I'm picking up on, and I just wanted to mention that. But also, it's crazy because at the same time, I have been experiencing that for myself. And that's just one of the things that I do not want to be around. And I think that may be why I sit with myself a lot in solitude and I reflect so much, because again, when I was with that guy at the time, this was like 2017, 2018, when I was in this relationship, and I hadn't done no fucking shadow work. I hadn't done no energy work, inner work whatsoever. So that's the thing. I guess that's what I'm trying to get to, is that when one is not taking the time to really sit with themselves and to really reflect on yourself and just questioning about everything, questioning everything about yourself. You know, when we haven't really taken the time to sit with ourselves and understand who we truly are, those insecurities, those feelings that we're getting, the jealousy, the envy, that's not going to go away until you address it, until we address it. Something's missing, you know? There's a void, there's a hole that needs to be filled with something here. There's a void here, there's a hole that needs to be addressed, right? That needs to be filled with your experience, your beliefs, right? I just needed to bring that up because jealousy today, it ruins relationships. It ruins friendships. And if we don't take the time to address it, it's gonna just rot inside of us. And then we're going to continue living a life where you're not really truly gaining, sustaining, flourishing, growing. And it gets harder when you're in a relationship with somebody that you really truly love, you really truly care about. This person is special to you. This person is someone that you've always wanted to share your life with. You've always wanted to be around with. But it's hard when one is carrying so much of that jealousy, and now that jealousy is turning into obsessiveness, possessiveness. First of all, you don't own anyone. First of all, there's really no one in this world that you control but yourself. Just saying. Collective. But here's the message. Okay, because I'm following the flow here. I'm following the rhythm. I have been cleansing. I have been resting, and a lot of resting. I have been taking my naps. I've been sleeping and dreaming and daydreaming. I have been, I guess you can say, in a completely different world, completely different vibe. And that's where we want to be. Okay, and I'm following the rhythm here as we go along, okay, because I have some notes here as well. This is us in alchemy. Okay, welcome to Aries season. We are waking up from a dream and then getting inspired and taking action and being on fire and letting that fire within lead you to taking actions on our passions and turning those passions into reality and even sharing them. I'm following the rhythm here, collective, and so hear me when I say alchemy here is of importance and is a theme, okay? I love hearing the birds when That's also, I think that's another thing as well. Butterflies is of importance as well. Butterflies, spiders, bees, hummingbirds. It's that time, right? It's that time of the year. I feel like this is a time to really sit and understand what that really means. You know, like let's say you're in your backyard or you're somewhere where there are a lot of hummingbirds, okay? And then one passes you by, okay? And you're looking at it, because when you encounter a hummingbird or you encounter a butterfly, that's a very monumental moment. I'm speaking to somebody when I say this. Even birds, you know, when birds fly by and it's just you and you're sitting there alone in the backyard, you're drinking your coffee or something, or you're drinking your tea, you're having a moment, and then all of a sudden you see birds. You know, it's like you're never really alone. Spirit speaks to us in mysterious ways, and these are the signs, synchronicities, I suppose, that we should really pay attention to. Some of us are feelers, some of us are thinkers. Some of us are practical, logical. We don't really understand emotions and feelings. We don't understand sometimes what we feel, but we are able to comprehend it with critical thinking. Some of us are very good and an expert in feeling your intuition. Intuition is also a great deal and a theme here. I'm seeing a white butterfly right now. It's beautiful. I was going for a walk with my dog this morning and I seen one. It passed me and it was just chilling on a bush, and I look at it closely because I just wanted to see what it looks like in the sun, you know, and it flew away. I scared it away. But anyway, intuition is a great deal here, and this is a very important aspect of alchemy, in the process of alchemy, because man, I'm just gonna fucking say it, because in this world that we fucking live in, we need fucking magic. We fucking need magic in this world, you know, like we need to experience miracles. We need to experience like miracles. We need to, once in a while, we got to give ourselves a chance to fall into the here and now and let the here and now take you there. And this is, I guess this is what I mean by intuition, because your intuition is just going to lead you there. And how do you know when to follow your intuition, Kimber? It's like your body is having an inkling. Oh, I feel like today I want to take a right instead of a left to work. I want to take this route instead of taking this route that I always go to. Oh, well, why is that? Well, because my intuition tells me that I should. Something here and there is something here for me, so I'm going to follow that. Today, when I get out of the house, as soon as I step out of the door, I'm going to make a right instead of a left. I'm going to take this street, I'm going to take this street instead of this street. Today, I'm going to have a banana instead of oatmeal. Today, I'm going to try to cut down on coffee and I'm gonna have tea instead. It's a sense, a strong sense that your body is calling you out to. Intuition isn't something that is taught per se. Intuition is something that you let grow and flourish on its own. It's within every one of us. It is also a very important aspect of you, of who you are. I suppose that this could be your inner child. Okay, I'm following the rhythm here. I suppose that intuition is also something that sits in sustainability. You know, it's always going to be there. You're always going to have that accessible to you. I suppose in this case that your intuition now has become your own wealth. Something that you come back to when all else fails in the physical. There's nothing in the physical now that can support you, let's say. For instance, there's nothing in the physical right now that is really helping me, that has purpose and meaning. But let me just go in and tap into my intuition and let my intuition take me there, because I trust my intuition. And my intuition always takes me to something good. I suppose intuition sits in sustainability because that's something inside of us that never leaves us, and something that you can always come back to that's going to help you with something when all else fails. This world right now isn't something to really trust. Our government isn't something that we can really trust at this time. So where to turn to? Okay, and I'm following the rhythm here as I say that. Where to turn to? You could be somebody who is highly intuitive and have always known to believe, to follow your intuition. Okay, because this is something that you've always felt and just continuously following ever since you were a little kid. Perhaps it's following you, and it has been following you. It has become your best friend. Well, there's really nobody to trust these days. You can't even really trust, society at this point. So where to turn to, who to trust? Your intuition is always going to tell you what is right, what is wrong, what decisions to make and what decisions to not make at this time. Your intuition is always going to lead you to something that you never would have imagined you experiencing. Oh my gosh, just like when I said, when you go to work, when you're driving to work, right? Or when you're walking to work, should I make a right? Should I make a left this way? What route should I take today? It's a perspective shift, if you will. It's a perspective shift. I'm following the rhythm here. And this is amazing. You have a very specific routine. There's too many cards. You have a very specific routine that you follow, right? Every single day, every day, over and over and over and over and over and over again. You have a very specific time when you do this and you do this task and you got to do it this task, and you have a very specific routine. So let's say, okay, let's spruce it up a little bit. Let's bring in some more vibrant energies real quick. It's a season to maybe switch things up. Exactly. A perspective shift, right? I want to try something new. I want to try something new. Maybe nothing is really flourishing and I'm not getting anything new. I'm not even really experiencing anything new that feels fresh to me, that feels vibrant to me. I'm not really experiencing anything that is making me feel good about myself. I'm not really tapping into my utmost higher self, inner, like, let's say your inner, for example, you feel like you haven't really experienced real fun and you haven't really experienced a good time in quite some time, right? In a while. And that part of you feel like, is gone. Well, what if I told you it's not? We're unlocking something here, you guys. What if I told you it's not? What if I told you that inner, fun, vibrant energy, personality is always going to be there, but you just have not really given him the time of day, because the world is busy, it's noisy, and you've somehow by and by suppressed it, not even knowing that you have suppressed it. Unconsciously, you have suppressed it, right? Ooh, for some of you, it's your inner shaman. I'm going to take my time because I feel like this is a part of alchemy here, taking our time. You are the creator, the magician, the creator of your life, designer of your day. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. There is power in your words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Didn't I just say something about the void? Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Spirit speaks to us in mysterious ways. There is, in fact, so much more to this world, more than we know. For some of you, you haven't even actually really gotten to tap into your utmost, like, you're just now finding out, wow, there's so much more to me that I didn't know about. I didn't know I can be so playful. I didn't know I can be so creative. I didn't know I can paint. I didn't know I can dance. I didn't know I could do these things with my hands. I did not know I could do this with my feet. You are the creator of your life, the designer of your day. You are a magician. I'm speaking to somebody here. We have gotten to really know the routine we've been in, correct? And I'm following the rhythm here. We have really only gotten to see the world that you've gotten used to living in the routine you've been in. But if you were to, a perspective shift, okay, let's see, for example, you come home from work and the next thing you do is sit on the couch just to rest, right? Unwind. And that has become a habit. Every day you come home, and as soon as you get home, you sit on the couch. That's the first thing you do. And then the next day you do it again. And then the next day you do it again. And then the next day you do it again. What if today it's a special day? I'm going to unlock something here. I'm going to unblock something here. What if today you get home from work, you don't sit on the couch, but you sit in the corner of the house somewhere, in the kitchen, in your closet? The perspective shift. I'm getting the word paradigm. Paradigm, is that a word? Is that the word? Paradigm. Sometimes we lose track of the real deal. We lose track of the real deal here in life. Sometimes we lose track of the most important things in life here. Sometimes we lose track of the real substance. Sometimes we lose track of producing the real substance. That's why nothing is working for you, nothing is flourishing, nothing is really going for you. I've been doing this for the last how many years? I've been in this routine. I haven't really been manifesting anything. I haven't really been attracting anything. But what if I told you that it only takes a perspective shift It's taking me back to a time when I was at my friend's house and we were just having a conversation, right? She was telling me about her life story and I was telling her about mine. And we were sitting on the staircase. I was sitting on the stairs and she was sitting in front of me on the staircase, facing me. And then she looks up to me and she goes, "You know, I just noticed something. I've never actually sat here before. Like, I've never sat in this part of my home before." Perspective shift. And in that moment, it's gonna open you up to something. It's a perspective shift. Sometimes we miss and we lose track of producing real substance in our life. There's more to us than we know. We come in depth. Paradigms, realms. We haven't actually given ourselves a chance to experience and seeing those realms, seeing those other places in our minds, other places within us that can really change something in our life. Perhaps we've been too conditioned, too brainwashed. Perhaps we have been too oppressed that we forget to live a little bit in color. Yeah, there is also durability in that. And yes, there is also sustainability in that. That is, in fact, multi-purpose. When we are sitting in our essence, that also comes with having a lot all at the same time. Perhaps societal standards don't want us to be multi, but just one, oppressing our utmost highest self, which is our essence. You have only really gotten to be in a specific routine, only really gotten to know yourself in a very specific routine you've been in, not knowing that you can break that routine at any time. Of course you can. It's your life. You are the creator and magician of your life. You are the creator of your life. You are the designer of your day. Today, I'm not gonna do shit. Today, I'm not doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up the phone, so that's all. I'm not doing anything. Da 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 da. By not doing anything, oh my gosh, you're surrendering. This feels weird. I'm surrendering. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do like I usually do, like what they tell me to do because they're in control of you. And I'm not really giving myself a chance to live my life in color. Today, I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing. That's your intuition. Today, I'm going to do whatever makes me feel good. Today, I'm going to do whatever makes my soul feel good. I feel like we're afraid. Sometimes I feel like there's this sense of like when we surrender, we're afraid. We're afraid because there is certainty in the routine that you are in, right? There's certainty in the routine that you have accustomed to know, right? And have been accustomed to really know. So in surrendering also, it takes a lot out of you, and it's a very courageous act, if you will. Very courageous act. But sometimes, because we need substance, we need the real deal. And so we lose track of the real deal, which is the substance that we're not producing, the real substance that is keeping our utmost, highest self going. And sometimes the substance deteriorates because our focus is on other people. Our focus is on comparison. Our focus is too much on other people's lives rather than your life and what you're doing in your life. But your focus is outward and stalking and obsessing on other people's lives rather than actually really fixing your life. And so we wonder why there's too much false identities, too much energy vampires. We wonder why there's too much jealousy that's turning into possessiveness. We wonder why things are not flourishing correctly in our life and we're not actually getting the real fruitful substance that we are, this is mind-blowing me. Sometimes when I do a reading, I don't even know what the fuck I just said until after I'm done with the reading and I'm watching it myself and I'm like, oh, this is making sense in my mind, but right now I don't even know if I'm making sense. So I'm hoping this is making sense to you. Because right now I'm putting this like a puzzle in my head, like a big puzzle in my head. You know what I mean? Right here, it's this. This is where people have taken the action in destiny swapping. Well, I want your life instead. I want your life instead. And I gotta have what's yours because, well, it looks great. And I don't believe in myself enough. Dude, shut the fuck up. You see, we lose track of the real deal because our focus is not in us. You produce substance and real substance. Holy, I'm following the rhythm here. You produce real substance when you follow your intuition and let the process of alchemy, you gotta trust your process. That's it. Trust your process. Trust your process. Yours. 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 Sorry. Fire. Fire! Fire! Sometimes, yes, it takes the perspective shift to produce that real substance, but also it starts with changing our habits. That also comes with changing your routine. When you're changing your routine, your habits also change, correct? So to really produce real substance, one, you got to have the perspective shift. Two, it starts with changing your habits, changing your routine. Three, you gotta give yourself an opportunity to really immerse yourself in real productivity. Because in real productivity, and what I mean by real productivity, these are the things that you do that keeps your soul, BAM! That keeps your soul just flourishing and going and alive. And that's the thing, that's what we're missing here, and that's why there's so many destiny swapping. You know, there's get out. You know, like we're missing, like we're in each other's energies and we're in each other's company, but all we're really doing is hating on each other and being jealous of each other, because now we've come to a point of just comparing. I get it. Because what comes with really producing, I'm following the rhythm here, collective, you guys. I'm hoping like this is all like bringing something to light, because like I said, I'm putting this in a big puzzle. So it makes sense, because sometimes when one you know, to really produce real substance. It takes a lot of patience in one. But not only that, like, you gotta be so kind to yourself and give yourself some time to slow the fuck down. Woo! Excuse me. Two birds. Man, they're so cute. To slow down. Oh, they're not leaving. Create a place in nature's stillness. Exactly, just exactly like that little birdie. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Sometimes it's the stillness we're not allowing ourselves to have. And perhaps it's the stillness that needs to take place in order for you to produce, because that's where the real substance lies. That's where the real substance is. It's in the stillness. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently toward your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. Let's talk about the part where it says, take time alone to find balance. Balance. That's what I mean by you switching up and taking a different route to work. That's what I mean by, you know, sitting in different places in your home and not just sitting in one place all the time. You may be one sitting in the living room all the time, but have you given yourself a chance to sit in the backyard at golden hour while reading or writing, listening to music, and watching the sun go down? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you gave yourself an opportunity to watch the sunset? Or just feel it even. Just fucking feel it in stillness. Man, I feel the fire within. I feel the alchemy within. And there are birds everywhere and butterflies everywhere. Holy! She gets nosy when I get loud. She's like, what are you doing? I want to join. When we give ourselves the time to be still, the substance is in it. When we give ourselves a chance to follow our intuition and to allow our intuition to speak for us, we create something beautiful we've never created before. We create a whole different world that we've never seen before. And then you're thinking to yourself, why didn't I do this before? Why couldn't I do this before? Perhaps the reason why you couldn't do it before is because there's a lot blocked inside. Energies that are blocked, right? You're not one to really take action on releasing. You're not one to really take action on cleansing and purifying. There is such a thing as cleansing energies. There is such a thing as releasing energies. You may not even know it, and you're still sitting in the past with all of these energies from your ex. Disgusting. From your conniving, mean-spirited friends, so-called friends that weren't actually friends. But like, you haven't really given yourself a chance to release those energies, and that's why nothing is moving for you. That's why nothing is actually really like flourishing. Like you haven't really found yourself in a place where things are actually like working out for you. Like it's what is that saying? So within as within, so without. Oh my god, I'm saying that incorrectly. You know what I mean? What's happening inside is what's happening on the outside. And then it's just like a cycle of energies in motion, moving through, in and out. As within, so without. As within, so without. This ebb and flow. You're manifesting, you're attracting. It's an equal give and take. You give back to the universe will give back to you. As within, so without. As within, so I lost it. It's gonna come back to me. I'm giving back to the universe, and the universe is giving back to me. We want to be in that ebb and flow. I feel like there's an energy here where I feel like there are a lot of us right now who haven't really gotten to know what that's like. Because you're not one to really follow your own intuition. And your intuition is going to give you that chance. It's an act. I'm going to use my tarot for this one. It's an act of surrender. I think I said earlier about surrendering. It takes one to be, it's an act of courage, right? To surrender and to fully really surrender. And I feel like that's the part right now that's blocking a lot of us, or some of us. We're not allowing ourselves to surrender, because in surrendering, it takes a lot out of you. It's sometimes saying no to something you always say yes to. And for some, it's sometimes saying yes to something that you never say yes to, that is going to open you up to something. You know, it's that balance. Say yes if you are one usually saying no. And say no if you are one usually saying yes. Because in saying yes, it's going to open you up to something else. It's an open door. And then for somebody who always is saying yes to people and places and things, say no, so that shit will shut, that door will shut, and you'll never have to go back to that again, because it was never good for you and it didn't actually serve you. So that's the blockage. As the Eight of Swords come out, it's the blockage. Things aren't actually moving in the way that it's supposed to, in the direction that it's supposed to, because you're blocking your own intuition by saying yes to this asshole, or saying yes to something that's never actually serving you, but taking your energy from you. You see, when you are one with the universe and at the center of you, that's where the ebb and flow is, right? As within, so without. And it just is like in that cycle. But when you're giving yourself to somebody who's just taking away all of your energy and nothing left for you, yeah, it leaves you in the position of Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords leaving you to entrapment. Eight of Swords represents being caught up in your own insecurities. We were just talking about insecurities earlier. in this folktale, okay, Donkey's skin was forced into hiding to escape a bad situation. Now she is faced with the decision to continue the life she has created or to step out of her self-made imprisonment, anxiety, victimhood, feeling trapped, paralysis, and crisis. Okay, for a lot of us, this is victimhood. For a lot of us, this is entrapment, a prison you've created in your own mind. Crisis. This is what I mean by to those who are always saying yes to people, places, and things that don't serve you. It's taken away your energy, so nothing is actually moving in the right direction for you. That's interesting. That's for somebody there. That's very specific. This has been a very interesting reading. We are almost an hour in. Okay, I'm gonna keep going and see what else comes up here. The act of surrender. We've gotten accustomed to the routine. Now it's time to break it. Now it's time to break that routine. Now it's time for us to experience something new in our life. Being it, okay, we just had the new moon in Pisces. Being it a new season, okay. Every season, being it everything new, okay. This is a beginning of something great, if you will just allow it. Today, I woke up, last night I rearranged a little bit in here, and I woke up facing the window, and the light was shining in, and it felt brand new. That type of feeling shifts my perspective. And in that very specific moment, there is substance. And then that is taking you to another thing, and another thing, and another thing, and another thing, and another thing. Your life is just moving in the energy you're supposed to, because you're allowing yourself to be in your Some of us are carrying fake essence because you stole that from somebody else. That's not actually your essence. You're stealing it from somebody else by watching them too much, obsessing over them too much. Some of us walking around this place with false identities, you're not actually being yourself. You literally have been walking around this place like as dressed as somebody else because you've been obsessing over them too much. Because you think that the essence that they carry, you deserve to have it more than them, but you got it from them. So you're weird, bro. I think there are a lot of us right now that are not doing okay. 8 of Cups. You know, because like, ooh, this energy. Okay, and now it just turned dark because it's easy for one to say, but it takes persistence and diligence and commitment. That word commitment isn't something that one is committed to. We've spiraled, some of us, you know, I feel like this is why I mentioned surrender, because a lot of us are starting all over again. I get it. Let's see. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's scary. Ah, I feel like I want to get emotional. It's scary to start all over again for some, because they worked really hard on the life they've built on, and now that life is gone. And that's the life they've always known. And it just got heavy because, you know, I get it. Yeah. Because it's the life you've always, that was the life that you were committed to. That was the life you put all of your time and your energy, invested all of your time and your energy. You know, for some, like, this is you and your family building together, and you've built that life, and now that life is gone for some reason, because this looks different for everybody, right? You know, something happened, you know, a great loss. You see, and I feel like this is where I need to bring up, you know, I'm only the messenger here. When that kind of stuff happens in your life, where you have to literally start from the ground up, you know, you've built this life you've known for years, 20 plus years, and now that 20 plus years of your life is gone, completely gone, vanished, like ash, just on the ground, completely gone. And now you got to find a way to start all over. That's hard. That's tough, because that takes a lot of courage for one to really surrender. And it takes a great amount of patience in one to really start all over. Because now you don't know where to go. All else have failed you. So here comes that intuition I'm talking about. Let the intuition take you. Because you may never know that it's your intuition that's going to make things greater for you. Please keep having the faith. Perhaps it is the faith that, you know, we got to hold on to. Even though sometimes we feel like things aren't working out in this crazy world that we live in, we feel like it's not going to work out, but it will. You just got to have the faith and hope. Wake up to hope, in faith, in trust. Believe. Believe. I love you guys so much. And if you are in a place where you have to start all over again, you know, and you got to leave that life behind you, man, because I know what that's like, you know. I can assure you, and I want to tell you, please don't give up. Please don't give up. There's something greater here for you. I promise you. There's something greater. There's something greater. And sometimes, you know, this is God's appointed time. This is God telling you something. God is speaking to you, so take heed. You had to start all over again. Start all over again. Don't look back. Take heed on what God's telling you. He's speaking to you. He's speaking to you. There's value in you. There's substance in you. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next. Take care. Bye.